Hey everyone, welcome to the HireMyVA Team and Business Building podcast, where we help you to reclaim your freedom through hiring and thriving with virtual assistants without breaking the bank, and that means your bank. And I'm Dave Braun, and as usual, I'm here with Larry Broughton, who's my fantastic friend and mentor. He's a buddy who's traveling through life with me. We had a great meeting last night with our buddies. It was awesome. And of course, Larry, you've coached thousands of entrepreneurs to become successful. In fact, just this morning, we got done with we call them spotlight sessions, but a great virtual mastermind. It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. I was actually surprised at how powerful it ended up being. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, because I think we need to be with everyone. I don't feel like it started out well, because the stuff that we had done, we missteps that we had made. The first 5 minutes just felt very clunky, but once we got going, like we didn't give up, right? We kept driving on. And it ended up, I think, being really powerful. And every person who was on there seemed to have gotten a lot out of it. So, yeah, I'm kind of on a roll right now. I'm feeling pretty good. But it's good to see you, handsome Dave. How are you?
You doing all right? I'm doing great.
Good.
So let's talk about our topic today, or / question. And it really is, can you explain the HireMyVA success model? And this is going to be part one. And maybe you folks didn't even know we have a success model, but we do.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We get asked this question all the time because people get into this thing and they start realizing this is not like any other program that's out there. But as you had said, Dave, this is really the first in a series of our HireMyVA success model. And we've been using this to help people, and these are the key words that we use over and over again. And if you or when you get into the program, you see these words over and over again. We help people prepare for, hire, and then thrive with virtual assistants. Okay, so we want to help you gain more freedom in your life. There are some programs who will tell you how to hire somebody, but they leave out the bookends. How do you prepare for hiring the right person? And then what do you do to actually help them thrive, so you don't have a revolving door of virtual assistants? But this is going to be episode number 83, and we'll give you an overview and go into some detail about the prepare part of the model here, and then look for upcoming episodes for episode number 84 and 85, where we talk about the hire part and then the thrive part. So Dave, let's go ahead and give a brief overview. You should probably share your screen on the infographic that we've created for this, to help describe what the HireMyVA success model is, so that you can hire a virtual assistant and really get your team rocking and rolling for success.
All right. So hopefully you see that, Larry, right now.
Yes, indeed. Yep.
All right. So we talked.
By the way, this was a creation of Dave and I from the conceptual stage, but it was our VA who put it into into this little graph or infograph.
Yeah,
this is what your VAs can do for you.
That's right. Daphne rocked it. And so, what we did is we put our thoughts together and how it should be modeled. And then she did, a lot of that hard work. And so we're out of doing that hard work. We just, watch over and have tweaks. And so we're off doing other things like recording this podcast.
Doing what we're
good at. We don't have to spend that time. That's our time that's just so valuable, just like your time is really valuable.
That's right.
So hopefully you can see my cursor a little bit, but it really is, here's the prepare circle. Now, hopefully you guys have a good understanding what a Venn diagram is, which is, this is basically what it is. You've got 3 different circles: prepare, hire, and thrive. Okay, so then we go in this particular order when you're going through our course and community, or we're using this as the basis of our white glove service, which we've just launched, where we get a VA for you. But that'll be another episode we can talk about. So we start off with the prepare section first, then it's hire, and then thrive, as Larry talked about. So in this one, we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about the prepare part. Okay. Let me reorient you to the diagram a little bit here. So you can see here's the prepare circle and the hire circle. Now you can see where they overlap. All these different circles overlap with each other and all together. So where the hire and prepare overlap, you can see it's attract and hire rock stars. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then of course, where hire and thrive overlap, it's the onboarding process. And when thrive and prepare overlap, it's foundation, the foundation of your hiring process. And then when they all come together, this is what we're after in this program, is to help you folks find true freedom, right? We believe getting true freedom in your business is by creating a rock star team. So let's talk about prepare. And this is we talk about a foundation here, but this is a part of the foundation of the program. Mm-hmm. There's 4 components, main components that we talk about in the prepare part of our program, which will obviously prepare you to hire and thrive with virtual assistants. Yep. The first aspect is culture, then it's whom, and then requirements, and then benefits. So let's dive in a little bit to all 4 of those things. So culture, let's talk a little bit about culture and the importance of setting up the culture in your business. Mm-hmm. And you know, you're going to have a culture no matter how many people that you have on your team. If you are just a solopreneur, a person of one, there's going to be a culture. The thing about that is you are the culture, you're controlling it. As soon as you hire somebody or bring somebody else in your culture, then that could be in your control or it could be out of your control. But in either case, you've got to define it. And Larry, talk a little bit about why, in your mind, culture is such a critical part of not only the prepare process, but setting you up for success.
Yeah, it's very interesting that for us, that this is one of the first things you do, part of the HireMyVA program, is we help identify what are our core values, what is our mission, and what's our vision for the organization. Because those are the key elements that we're going to use to attract other people to us. And frankly, when you know what your core values are, Dave, when you know what your vision and mission are, it's easier to attract clients and customers as well. People want to do business with, people want to work with people who are like-minded, mm-hmm. right? So if you publicly say, hey, I'm an organization that's filled with honesty, integrity, ethics, those kind of things, if that's written down someplace, then you can hold people accountable to that. If there's somebody out there who lives their life in a really nefarious and dishonest fashion, and they see, oh my gosh, they actually hold people accountable for this, maybe I shouldn't even bother applying there, sure. Right? Or if you say that, I mean, there are a lot of organizations say that, hey, innovation is one of our core values. I mean, it's kind of a catchword right now. Then what you're telling the world is that you're willing to change, right? And so if this potential team member candidate that you're interviewing is not comfortable with change and they like stasis, then this is probably not going to be the right fit for them. But defining what your culture is going to look like in writing is really important, because we believe that you then must publish that to the world. It should be on your website, should be on your candidate job postings. Again, this helps weed out candidates that aren't a good fit, and it actually will attract investors, clients, and candidates who do like who you represent and what you do. Is that what you're looking for, Dave? Is that right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. In fact, I've had clients come to me and they've said, I went to your about page and looked over your culture, and yeah, I want to do business with you. Mm-hmm. It's happened several times. And so it's an important part, like you said, of attracting people, and it's also a great important point of keeping your team members, like you had said, accountable. And one of the things that we do in the program is we walk you through how to create your vision and mission. How do you create your core values, and in a way that you can do it that's that fits for you.
Well, this is one of those things, Dave, where I think it's really important that we just put kind of an exclamation point on here, is that we're not just trying to help you hire a VA. What we're trying to do is help you build an amazing entrepreneurial organization that endures, where you can build legacy. Okay. So we're not going to say, hey, this is what you do to hire a VA, and that's the end of it. Because if you don't have the rest of this stuff down in the prepare portion, the thrive portion, you're going to have a revolving door, and your business is just not going to be set up for success. All right. And for us, one of the key drivers, one of the key descriptors of success is freedom.
Yes.
Okay. If not the number one thing, right? We want you to have freedom. So this is why we're talking about culture here.
Yeah. And I think a lot of programs will just not emphasize this piece because they're like, oh, we want to get you somebody fast and immediate and take care of your immediate needs with your hair on fire and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, that works sometimes, but we're not interested in what works sometimes, right? We're interested in what works every time.
Well, and we do have that element of the program. If you are a high quick start and you do need someone, you can use the program, Dave, and just go through the quick start element of it, and it'll get you hired pretty quickly. But just doing the quick start elements to the Hire My VA program is not the long-term recipe for enduring success.
Yeah, you want to really invest a little bit of time in thinking about your culture and your vision and mission. You can do it really quick and get it partially the way down, and we walk you through that. You can do that, but let's make sure that you don't make the mistake of not thinking about it.
Right.
Okay, well, let's go to the whom part. Let's talk a little bit about whom. What do we mean by whom? So really, and Larry, we've got a couple of exercises in the course where we help you to identify whom by doing, we call it our 6-pack exercise or a 3-column exercise, where what we do is we walk you through the process of really figuring out what do you need to get off of your plate, what do you love to do, and what you can actually delegate. And sometimes it's surprising that, well, people come in and they'll say like, I really need this person in my mind right now, but after going through the exercise, either I need that person or they've identified the second person that they're going to hire.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I'm glad you pointed that out, Dave, because who we think we need sometimes is not reality. And so we have to take an objective look at what's everything on my plate. Why am I not being effective or efficient with my time right now? And so the 3-column exercise and the 6-pack exercise really help people identify, okay, here's everything that's on my plate.
Yep.
What can I delete, delegate, defer, right? And who am I going to hand that over to? Because you may hire someone whose strengths aren't fit for the needs that you have for your organization. And this is one of the reasons why people oftentimes fail. We aren't hiring the right person for the task or systems or programs that need to be developed and run inside the organization, right? So this is why we have to actually take a little time and prepare for this, right? And then we have tools that will help you identify, who's the right person to be getting on this, well, Jim Collins says, get the right person on the right seat on the bus.
Right. Yeah.
And so we help people do that. Okay. So if you need a bus driver and the person does not have a license, that's not a recipe for success.
That's right.
Okay?
Absolutely. And so related to that is our next big piece is requirements. Now, a lot of people think, okay, requirements is, okay, what do I need to have this person like get the stuff off my plate? Well, that's part of it. But part of the requirements that we help you set up are requirements that they can be successful in your business long-term, like what kind of communication strategy, what kind of softer skills, do they need to have leadership skills? Those kinds of things are really important to set up and think through ahead of time.
Yeah. I think that we need to be thinking, what are the requirements I need today when our hair might be on fire, or with the size, and what are the requirements that I might need if I'm a growth organization 6 months from now or a year from now. This helps you. This helps you get much more intentional, because one of the most costly elements of running a business is team member turnover.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The productivity is crippled when you've got turnover, potentially crippled. There's the retraining cost that goes into it. There's just a lot of inefficiencies, right? And so if we can not only find and attract and keep candidates who will serve us today, but grow with us as we grow and our demands and needs grow in the organization, those are the best hires that you can get.
Yeah, totally agree. And one of the components that we also emphasize from the requirements perspective is communication. Like what level of communication do you need to have in order for you to be successful? Because it depends. I had a boss one time who I could not figure out why he wanted me to sit in a 2-hour meeting with all these people to talk about a written report that I'd done, a detailed written report. And it was basically, that's just what he needed to feel comfortable and to be successful in his organization. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? But he had figured it out. You need to do the same thing. Figure out what level of communication that you need to be successful in your business. So that's just one of those other aspects of the requirements.
One of the things I do like about the program, Dave, just if I can interject for a second, is that we give some scenarios, and same with these podcasts, like the importance of communication, because what works for you might not work for a particular team member. And so we give some scenarios on how to communicate more effectively. Because let's be honest, a lot of people who are going through this program, Dave, have never had a VA.
Yeah.
before, or they may have had a VA and they've not had a successful VA before. And oftentimes, like I could tell you, the call that we were on earlier, one of the people, well, actually, I think there were two people on that call who have VAs, and both have had successes and I guess less than success with their VAs. And oftentimes it comes down to communication and defining expectations. And so we spend a little bit of time talking about that in the program.
Yep. Okay. So let's move on to the last major piece of the prepare circle is the benefits. Obviously, you got to be clear on what benefits that you want to provide to a new prospective team member, whether or not those benefits are, I mean, of course, money, you think about money and salary and all that, but then there's time off. There's other side benefits. I mean, we have a whole list of them in there. Like one of the things you could do is give them time to learn a new skill. It could be give them access and you pay for like a Udemy course. And Larry, one of the things that you've talked about a lot is one of the big reasons that people leave an organization is, according to what Gallup said was, or is, because they are, they feel a lack of professional development. Right. They're not moving forward. So we want you to consider that as one of the benefits, because we want you to hire people that want to stay with you long-term. And so if you're going to do that, you need to have all four of these pieces.
Right. Team members want to feel like they're contributing to the organization. Effective team members, good team members want to feel like they're contributing, they're making a positive impact. So the more professionally developed you can make them, the more effective they can be, the better they feel and the better they perform. I had a wrestling coach in high school. It was very interesting. You know, when you made the varsity team, this might sound a little creepy, but you put your uniform, your varsity uniform on, which is different than the JV, the junior varsity uniform. And you came in, you know, with him and the other coaches, and he said, okay, how do you feel? Does it fit well? And I remember saying to him, like, this is really weird. I said, why do you even ask us this? And he said, because if you feel good, if your equipment feels good, if you feel good, you perform well.
Ah, good point.
Right?
Yeah.
And so this is really, it's just a quick little story about why this is so important. We have to effectively communicate with our team and describe to them what the benefits are and help them become more professionally developed. They just show up better. They show up as better team members.
For sure. For sure. So that's it for the prepare circle, but you can see where they overlap. Prepare overlaps with thrive. It creates the foundation. So you can see how much of the foundation that you are creating for your business and your team building is in the prepare module, as well as it's the beginning part about how to attract a rock stars in your organization.
Yep.
So let me stop my share and okay. So I think what we're going to be talking about 84 and 85 is the hire and thrive part in more detail as well, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts about this? I mean, I love the prepare part. And I want to get across to people that it's really, really, really important that you go through that. All three of these are really important. Prepare is really important as well.
Yeah, I would say this, that the community portion of this program in these podcasts, no matter where you listen to them, if you ask questions or if you've got comments about this, then we'll chime in. We'll help sort things out, whether you're in the program or not. You have a general entrepreneurial question. We love to interact with folks. But the prepare, it's a good thing in life. It's just to be prepared for what you do. There's a study that was done a long time ago. I don't remember who did it now. I need to go back and look. But it said that 1 minute of preparation saves 8 minutes of execution.
Ah, yeah.
Think about that. How much more effective would your life be if we actually, instead of just winging it through life, we actually planned and prepared?
Yeah, it's kind of like with this podcast. We sit down and we prepare what our thoughts are. We don't script everything out, but we prepare the main thoughts and the bullet points of what we want to talk about. We spend time, preparing. Probably, for each episode could be 3 or 4 or 5 times as much time as we're on the episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good.
So, okay. Well, let's put a wrap on this one.
Yeah, it sounds good. Thanks, Dave, for your participation here.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. And remember, building a team is the way to reclaim your freedom. Right. And we're here to help you with our course community and our white glove service, where we find a rockstar VA for you. You're involved in the prepare, hire, and thrive process, but we find somebody for you. It's great. We're having some great success in it. Yeah. But right now, 3 things we'd love for you to do, and we'd really appreciate it. Number 1, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already done so. And then number 2, give us a rating. Obviously, 5-star we'd love, but or leave a comment below this video if you're watching on YouTube, a thumbs up, whatever. Any comment, it helps us get the word out. And then number 3, go to HireMyVA.com for more information on our course and community and our white glove service, whichever is right for you. By the way, with the white glove service, you do get some time in our course and community as well. So if you have a doubt, do that. But okay, anyway, remember, even without experience with our course and community and our service, you'll learn how to prepare for, hire, and thrive with virtual assistants. Larry and I, we've been helping people today already. We want to help more folks, and we want to help you as well. So just go to HireMyVA.com for more information.
Yeah, and we love working with entrepreneurs, leaders, and high achievers. This is kind of our wheelhouse. We love to see people make a positive impact on the world. So do yourself a favor, do the world a favor. Go do something really awesome today. Do something significant today. God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. All right, my friends, go get them. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.